Hi, so I'm Lizzie. Nice to meet you all. I am a manifestation vlogger, blogger, and coach. Well, new coach. I'm training still. So if you want to work with me right now, it's free just because I'm still trying to learn how to work with people. Although I know manifestation techniques and all of that, I want to make sure I can communicate those ideas effectively, even though I'm also a writer. So hopefully that comes in handy. I manifested my true love, life partner, soulmate, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, using the law of attraction last year actually. And it's the funniest thing because I kept thinking it was maybe March 18th that I had written this list that I used, because I used a list to manifest it. But it was actually March 31st, and there's significance in that because the day that we met was May 31st, so it was exactly 2 months. March 31st, I wrote the list. May 31st, I met him. And it's the funniest thing how I met him, because it's something that I kind of always expected to happen, but in a way that I didn't expect it to happen, if that makes sense. So let's get into the actual list and everything, and how you can do this too, how you can replicate this process, so to speak. Let me kind of give a background story really quickly about how my manifestation was throughout the years. I first learned about the law of attraction when I was 12 by stumbling upon this book that my dad had called Write It Down, Make It Happen by Henrietta Klauser. I haven't read the book in a hot minute because I lent it to somebody, and so I have to manifest getting it back. Anyways, and then I was looking up if it was true. I was doing research, and then I discovered The Secret documentary, and I watched that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like something I could actually try. And then I had been using it for small things here and there, practicing it more and more as the years go on. I would like people during this time, and I would be like, okay, I have them, right? I would try to manifest being with them or whatever. I try to manifest their affection, whatever you want to call it. But I always fell short for a couple of different reasons. Something that I now can look back on and be like, okay, I can see why that didn't work out now. And yeah, it was an embarrassing time to be me in my eyes. But I don't say that to judge my past self. I say that just like when you see, like, you know, pictures of yourself as a kid, it's like, oh, that's so embarrassing, even though there's still like love extended towards that childish version of you, you know, like I extend love to that version of me, but at the same time I'm like, oh, I can't believe I didn't know what I was doing. So I would try to manifest, and it wouldn't work out. The biggest difference, I think, between then and now is my ability to detach, which is something a lot of people talk about, and we'll get into that a little bit more later. 2, consistency with both attracting and detaching. And 3, how clear I wanted it to be. So I have maladaptive daydreaming disorder, right? Which means I do a lot of daydreaming that's very, very immersive, I'd say, because it's sort of a coping mechanism. I can create worlds in my mind and just stay there, and it sort of also comes hand in hand with me being a writer. I'm a creative writer, so sometimes it's just like I'll be imagining a story and then I'll sort of find myself in that story. But I'm also going to be a personal development writer, so that's exciting. I'm excited for that. I'm actually in the middle of working on a book right now, so that's fun. Anyways, self-promo aside, wow. I thought that that would be like helpful in me manifesting whatever I want, and yes, it does help because it's a form of creative visualization, but you also have to be careful to attach the right emotions to it, because it's very easy to get lack and having mixed up. I thought that I was manifesting what I wanted, but my dramatic self, the creative writer in me, was manifesting what I didn't want because I would think of drama. And I thought that the drama was just like a side piece, but it was not. It was something I manifested, and I'm like, okay, probably shouldn't do that. And it sort of went on back and forth like this because I didn't have consistency. I would say, oh, I'm going to do it this way, and then just go back to my old ways because they were habits. They were bad habits, and old habits and bad habits die hard. So it was a whole situation. But then as time went on, I would practice it with little things. It's always important to practice it with small things. I'll give us an example of something small I manifested. There was this competition at my high school, and my friend said that I wasn't going to win it because it was like for the whole school, and I won it because I was like, I'm going to win it. That's a small one. I'll get into that in another video, my little manifestation stories and whatnot. Back to the topic at hand. So I had to be consistent. And last year, you know, it was the start of quarantine. I was like, I don't know what's happening. Things are happening and my life is spiraling out of control by me being stuck in my room with nothing to do. And I spent a lot of that time daydreaming. But something else that I did was really continue to research the law of attraction, which I have been researching for 12 years. I started when I was 12, for 9 years. But I was actually implementing these things more and more because I had more time. And I had more time to reflect, to introspect. You know, look at my brain, see what was going on in there, get rid of limiting beliefs and all of that. So what I did was I would tell myself that I was worthy of love, which is something that I have had trouble with in the past. And even though it felt like a lie, something that people would tell you is you have to kind of lie to yourself at first, I would keep doing that. I would be like, I'm worthy of love, I love myself, someone else is going to love me too, blah, 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 things like that. And then I also felt compelled to write this list. Like, I had this urge to write this list. And this is a bit of a mess because my notebook is my brain, but let me just clean this up a little bit. Grab these little doodahs and whatnots and move them out of here. So, this is my manifestation journal. It's nothing fancy. I just think this is cute. It was from donating blood, and I'm like, the gift of life, you know, it's like a form of creation. So I was like, oh, why not? I'll just put that there. And I want to go to the page where it all began. March 31st, 2020. I started this off with a brief synopsis about what I was looking for in somebody. It's the funniest thing because I said something about him being like a Pisces, and my boyfriend is a Pisces, so I mean, I wrote that he's kind-hearted and that he's strong but gentle. He's clever and very smart. He's a fast learner. Those things are all very accurate. He has ASD, so he would go to Stony Brook for IQ testing because his school wanted to see how he's doing. I don't know, it was like this whole thing. He told me about the story. The school just wanted to see what his IQ was, or maybe it was his parents, or both, because I remember him telling me both, so it was probably both. And he would go there and he would take the IQ tests, and so he would rank about 145 or so. So yeah, that's very smart. He's a math genius, and I mean that in a literal sense. He started learning quantum, what was it? Vectors, something like that. I'm not a math person, but vector, he learned something with vectors. I don't know what they're called, back when he was in middle school. So that's cool. He went to like a gifted program school, something, when he was a kid, all fancy stuff. And he's also very sweet. He is the kind of person who will cheer up his friends, who's there for his friends. He gives advice to them when there's something wrong going on with them. He'll lend a listening ear. He'll lend a shoulder to cry on. He's just very soft, very sweet. And he also is a fast learner. He can learn lots of things really quickly, and it's very exciting to me because I'm like, okay, wow, big brain. For example, he wants to be an Overwatch League player, and he actually is probably going to be on a team soon. Very exciting. But he learned how to play the game very quickly. When he started, he was, starting off as usual. Then he rose to the ranks really fast, and now he's like one of the, I don't know what it is because I don't play Overwatch, but he was like one of the high ranking people in the world. And he also has really good aim and hand-eye coordination, which he uses for different sports like hockey, which I'm going to actually talk about because that's relevant. So I wrote his features. Now the thing is, some of these are interesting because I wrote something down, but then when I was daydreaming I would think something different, and you really have to focus what you want. You have to really focus on it. And that's what makes it come true. So I said that he had dark fluffy hair, and his hair is dark and fluffy. But now the thing that's interesting is I said that his eyes were blue, and there's always a spark in his eyes. The spark in his eyes thing is true, but his eyes are dark brown. And I think the reason for that is whenever I would imagine this person, I would always imagine him with dark brown eyes. And the thing is also, I would always imagine him with glasses, which was really weird to me because I used to not really be the type of person who would be into guys with glasses, but I would just imagine it. And that's relevant for later. Then I said that he had clean, cared for skin, and that he was about like 130, 135 pounds, and 5'9" to 5'11", which I was like, I wasn't sure if that was like possible. I just remember basing it off of Howell's height and weight, and I thought it was normal, and I think it is average, or something like that. Sorry, it's like 1,000 degrees in my room, and I'm trying to think, but my brain is overheating. We're fine. I have a fan, but you're on it right now, so I can't turn it on, or else it'll be like. Anyways, I said that he was lean and fit and muscular, which is true because he is athletic, but he's also a gamer, and he also tends to eat a very interesting diet, so he's like very skinny because we like spaghetti boys. And he has long legs, which is true. He has nice hands, which is true. I have a thing for hands. I love his hands. His hands are so pretty. I said that he has clean, straight, white teeth, and he does. His teeth are very nice. They're kind of like cute because he has like little tiny fangs, which is also relevant because at some point I mentioned that. Now I'm going to get into some of the other things that I went into. I mentioned that he was family oriented, that he's friendly and charming. He's very charming. I said he loves animals, he loves kids. I said that he's religious. I said that he's physically affectionate. He loves to read. Lots of different things. I said that we daydream together, we watch anime together. I mentioned that he can sing and dance, and that he gives me back rubs because my back always hurts. I mean, my back feels fine. Affirm the good, right? And I mentioned that he is always there for me when I feel down. And yeah, those are a lot of the things that I wrote. I wrote a lot more, but I'm not going to go through the whole list because that would take forever. It's a very long list, very comprehensive, goes into his ideologies, his beliefs, his background, all of that. But long story short, that stuff all came true. That's all legit. So now, on to the in-between time. I spent most of March and April and May maladaptive daydreaming, but like just really daydreaming about what I wanted, and also listening to romance songs. That's something that's very important. Every day I would listen to romance songs and feel. Feeling is very important. As Neville Goddard says, feeling is a secret. I would feel that I had that love. I had a whole playlist of like 300 songs all about love that I would just listen to and just daydream to and be like, ah, in love. You know, even though I had like nobody at that point, I was like, so in love. And it was like this whole thing, and I would tell my friends about it. I was like, I'm gonna manifest this. I would daydream about meeting him, introducing him to my friends at a park, which is weird because that's how that actually happened. We actually went to the exact park that I thought of in my head, and I'm just realizing that now, which is really weird. Okay, moving on. I would daydream about this person, and like I mentioned, I would daydream him with glasses, which was weird to me because, like I said, wasn't really into guys with glasses. Now, the day I met him was May 31st, exactly 2 months after I had come up with this list. May 31st, I ended up going to the Zoom party of my friend, which I might not have gone to if certain circumstances hadn't come into play the day before, because I had isolated myself all of May. I was a complete recluse. I wasn't texting or calling or talking to any of my friends, not because of anything against them. It's just because I was in my own head for the entire month. I was also rewatching Death Note a lot, so it was like I was just so invested in this. In April and May, I was watching Death Note again because I love anime, love Death Note. I mentioned the anime thing, so makes sense. We stand L. See? We stand L. Put this on. I haven't worn this in a while. Okay, so it was just like this whole month of me just being by myself, essentially. And then May 30th, 2020, one of my best friends came over, and he brought me cake for my birthday because my birthday was May 12th. And obviously I was like by myself, so my friends didn't get the chance to celebrate with me. So they brought me over a cake, and I was like, what? Craziest thing too is that day was also the day that my friend started dating this guy that she's still with, and she had manifested him too because we were talking about her being with like a hipster with like a beard, and he has a beard and he's like very hipster energy. We call him hipster Jesus. It's like this whole thing. It's funny. And then I remember my friend came over with a cake, was like, well, our other friend is having a birthday party right now, but I said I'd be late so I could bring you this cake, and we can join it as soon as I don't know. I don't remember. We can join it together, or you don't have to go. It's up to you. And I was like, no, I'll go. And then we texted our friend. Turned out the party was the next day, not that day. everyone had gotten the date confused, thought it was May 30th instead of May 31st. So we were like, okay, why don't we just hang out with him, right? Like, let's just hang out with him. And then we also called my friend who started dating Hipster Jesus for me to find out that she was dating him. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And we were like celebrating over the phone. It was this whole thing. It was so exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't remember exactly, but I was thinking something along the lines of how I was next or something like that. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, you found your soulmate, now me next, or something like that. And then we just had a chill day. It was a good day, a chill day. Boop. Then the next day, I was out of hiding, so to speak. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna go to this party. It's online. It's fine. I can go to this party. And I don't know why, but like, so, okay, I put baby oil in my hair because I like to make my hair kind of nice and shiny and soft. So I put baby oil in it sometimes to just make sure it like grows and stuff and all of that. Sometimes I use coconut oil, but I was using baby oil, like vitamin E mineral baby oil that day from Johnson & Johnson. Random, but I remember that. And so I looked a mess, but I was like, it's fine. I mean, it's on Zoom. No one's gonna like see me like up close. But then when I was actually on Zoom, I was like, okay, I look like a wreck. I'm just gonna pretend like nothing's happening, because I was talking to my friend before his birthday party started. And then when his actual birthday party started, I was like, you know, I don't want to be weird and just like walk away and then come back with my hair like sopping wet. So I just pretended that it was a look, and I mean, it kind of was, because my hair. Anyways, I was kind of awkward at the party because there were some people that I didn't know there, and I was like, huh, this is interesting. I have to backtrack a little bit, and this is relevant, I promise. In 2013, I used this Vedic astrology app, and I looked up, I was like, when am I gonna meet my soulmate? Because I was like a 13-year-old, you know, I was like weird. I was like, when am I gonna meet my soulmate? Blah, blah, blah. And it said that I was going to meet him at a party, and that he would be kind and caring, and it would be the party of a mutual friend. And I don't remember any other details, but the thing that really stuck with me throughout all the years was that it would be a party of a mutual friend, right? So flash forward back to the future. Haha, he likes that movie. I still haven't watched it because I'm terrible, so maybe we'll watch it tonight, actually. Anyways, May 31st, 2020, exactly 2 months after I had written this list, I'm at the party of my friend. Okay, my friend had invited a bunch of his friends that I didn't know. I thought everyone had arrived. I was vibing with them, and then all of a sudden, this person enters the chat, and I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, my eyes are like glued to him. I'm like, why am I staring at this guy? This is the most random thing. Why am I staring at him? And it's like I couldn't take my eyes off of him. And the minute I saw him, I was like, it was weird because it was like I was like attracted to him. I was like addicted to him. It was love at first sight, but I didn't want to admit it at first, because you know how it is. Like, you see someone that you like, but then you're like, no, I don't like them. You know, it's like your brain just wants to convince you that you're dumb for some reason. So I saw him and I was like, I want this guy to be my boyfriend. But then I was like, that's weird. He's a stranger. You haven't even spoken to him yet. It was weird. And he had joined. He was vibing with all of us. It was a great time. We didn't really talk to each other. We were kind of talking to other people except for each other. But then at some point, we were talking to each other. Sorry. So yeah, we were like, and then so he was like, oh my gosh, my brain just died. Sorry. So for some reason we had people trying to guess how old I was, and what my ethnicity was. Spoiler alert, I'm Filipino and Italian. But people were like, oh, are you Hispanic? I was like, no, I'm not. Can you guess what I am? And then he was the only person who said, are you Asian? And I was like, yes, I am. I'm half. And it was funny because when he was talking to me, I was trying not to be weird. I guess I was being kind of awkward, but it's fine. And then he had to go for some reason. Something that was also interesting was he reminded me of this character that I had a huge fictional crush on for 4 years at the time. L. Yeah, L. So I had a huge crush on L from when I was 16 to when I was 20, and he reminded me a lot of him. And I was like, you can't date a guy just because he reminds you of L. But the funny thing is, I kind of like imagined the person I was going to be with to be like L, and I kind of imagined him to be like that as I was writing my list down. So I mean, I guess it kind of worked out that I was thinking of that at the time. Again, what you focus on is what comes to fruition, even if it's something that you think of subconsciously or something that you don't even realize you're thinking about. So then he has to go. He has to go help his friends with something, and then I'm like thinking, am I gonna talk to him again? And should I shoot my shot as he's saying he's about to go? I'm like, should I shoot my shot? But that's weird. I don't know, right? I'm just thinking, I'm like, what should I do? Like, internal panic. And then he leaves, and I'm sad, and I'm like, oh, probably should have shot my shot. But he said he would be back, so I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till he's back, and then I'll shoot my shot. I'll do that. Hours pass by, and I mean hours pass by. He still isn't back, and everyone starts to leave, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy said he'd be back, and he's not back, and I want to talk to him. I guess I could ask our friend about who he is, but then I don't want to be weird and be like, who's this guy? So I was like, I'm just gonna shut up and pretend that I don't know what I'm doing, because I didn't know what I was doing. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so hours pass by, and I'm like, I'm not leaving this call until this kid comes back. I'm not leaving this call, right? Plus, it was my friend's birthday party, and we were having a lot of fun, even though there was literally only like 4 people left. I was still vibing with it. It was a lot of fun, but I was also like determined. I was like, one hand, friend's birthday party, huge blast. Other hand, I'm not leaving until I see this person again. Because I'm stubborn. I'm a Taurus. I'm stubborn. I don't know. I can't help it, okay? So then finally around 10 o'clock or so, he comes back. And he would do this thing where he'd be like, welcome back, right? So when he came back, I was like, welcome back. Because I'm weird. And then it was kind of like all of us being like playing Cards Against Humanity online, because it was a quarantine birthday party. And then at one point, it was the weirdest thing, but I was like, how are you? And he was like, how are you? I was like, how was your day? He's like, how was your day? And we just went back and forth with that for like a good minute while everyone else was silent. And I don't know why that happened, but it was kind of funny. And then it was really weird because, okay, so there's nothing against Joker fans, right? But like, some of them are incels, right? Which is kind of like scary. But his name for Cards Against Humanity was Joker, and I was a little apprehensive then. I was like, that's weird, that's suspicious, right? So I asked him, I'm like, oh, your name's Joker, right? And then he was like, yeah, Joker from Persona 5. And then I had like a heart attack. And the reason why I freaked out internally when that happened was because one of the things I had mentioned, either, I don't remember if I mentioned it in my list or in my head, Okay, so I wrote something that reminded me of it in my list, but I thought of it in my head. I was like, I want this guy to kind of look like Joker from Persona 5. And I kind of want him to like Joker from Persona 5. Even though I never played the game, I watched one little part of a walkthrough back when I was 16, and I just loved it, right? I was like vibing with it. I thought that like I also had like a fictional crush on Joker. It was a whole thing. And then I was like, and it's funny because when I was reading it, I was like, either he's an incel, stereotypically, obviously just stereotyping based on the internet, because there are Joker fans who aren't incels, I'm sure, so my apologies to all of you. Then I was also like, or he likes Persona 5, and it was the latter. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's wild, because I literally was thinking about that, and he literally has a cosplay of the outfit that I was thinking of when I was writing down this list, which is wild. It's his school uniform, because I love turtlenecks. Turtlenecks are so good. Turtlenecks look good on anybody. Anyways, then I was all like, okay, that's also weird, and that's also suspicious, because, Now the thing is, Joker has glasses, and as I mentioned, I had envisioned this guy wearing glasses. And when he first came on, when the actual human being person guy came on, he was not wearing glasses. And I was like, okay. And I didn't like really pay attention to it. But then at some point, he was talking about his glasses and he pulled them out. I was like, that's really weird and oddly suspicious and oddly specific, because I was thinking that they would sometimes wear their glasses, sometimes they wouldn't, but that they would be black frame glasses, like the traditional type of glasses, right? And they were. And I don't know why, but even though that's something that's a very small detail, it really clicked something in my head, right? That was before he left. But yeah, so when he had the Joker name, I was like, oh my gosh, weird. And as the night would go on, people would leave, and there's only 3 of us left. It was the birthday boy, and it was this guy. He had followed me on Instagram, and I was all like, oh my gosh, should I text him? I didn't text him, but I followed him. And then around midnight or so, he texted me, and we were like, we had this inside joke going on. Actually, no, it wasn't midnight. It was when we were still playing the game. We had this inside joke going on. So he texted me with the inside joke, and then we were texting each other with the inside joke. And then people were leaving, as I said. Then we were still texting as we were in the call too. And then around 4 a.m., he said that I was cute, and I was like, oh, okay, good. I didn't have to shoot my shot because he did, which is good because I'm not a brave person. And then he was all like, oh, you're cute, or whatever he said, something like that. He was, well, no, he called me cutie, actually, and I was like, and I'm very picky and apprehensive, so normally if someone did that who I just met, I'd be like, stranger danger, right? But when he did it, I was kind of like, okay. And I was like, you think I'm cute? You know, like, that's how it was, and we both liked it. It was cute. And then it's funny because we both were asking our mutual friend questions about each other without telling the other. So I was like, is he tall? Because I wrote that he was tall, right? And he was like, hey, do you think I have a chance with her? And then our friend was like, well, she's really picky, so you probably don't have a chance, but shoot, anyway, go for it. And he's like, okay. And then we kind of were like flirting back and forth and whatnot over text. And we ended up not hanging up until I believe 11 a.m. or 10 a.m., something like that, June 1st. And yeah, and we've been texting and talking every day since then. And the first place that we met up in person was a park, and we went to the exact park I was thinking of in my mind after we had met up at the first park, like park hopping, I guess. And he has a lot of the qualities that I wrote down, and by a lot I mean like all of them. One of the things I wrote down was that he is an ice skater, and my guy has been playing hockey since he was 4, and he also said that he's down to learn how to figure skate with me, which is cool because he's going to learn how to singles and pairs figure skate with me, which is going to be so much fun, so cool. I also manifested figure skating. If you want to know about that, I'll make another video about that. And yeah, it's just all so weird. He got me this bear. I named it Lamar Wizzy because he calls me Wizzy, and his favorite football player is Lamar Odom from the Ravens. It is our child, and he's super cute. And he's got a sweater that kind of looks like his sweater. He also really likes the Beatles, and he likes space. I'm saying that because like I have his one of his Beatles shirts, and I have his NASA jacket, and I remember that because it looks like this. My brain goes off in different directions. I am so sorry. And we've been together for a year now, you know, like we've known each other for a year. And it's just like I wouldn't want it any other way. Like, oh, he's calling me right now. Should I accept or should I play hard to get? No, I'm just kidding, I'm gonna accept. I'll be right back. He's on my computer now, and the funny thing is he manifested me too, because he had told his cousin once, years ago, that he wanted to be with someone named Elizabeth. Like, he'd be fine with being with someone named Elizabeth. And my name is Elizabeth, so it seems kind of accurate to me. And we have a lot of things in common. We watch anime together. We love skating, obviously ice skating. He does hockey, I do figure skating, but we're going to do figure skating together like I just mentioned. We manifest together, and we just vibe together. It's just the weirdest thing to me, because this is such strong evidence that the law of attraction is real and exists. I also want to mention, I also used crystals too. This is rose quartz, used for love manifestation, and this is crystal quartz, which is used for enhancing manifestation powers. I also have a crystal quartz necklace my friend got me. Gotta manifest finding it because it's somewhere in this room, hiding, but not for long. Yeah, that's a story of how I manifested him. I also detached, which is very important. Detaching is when you know it's on its way, so you don't focus on it with a fear. You focus on it with excitement and calm. I knew that it was on its way, so I felt very calm. I felt very relaxed. I felt very fine. Instead of feeling, oh my gosh, when's it gonna happen? Is it gonna actually happen? Feeling attached, feeling restricted, feeling like there's nothing happening, feeling like I was in a mindset of lack. I was detached. I was fine. I was going with the flow. I was vibing. I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen. I was expecting it, but I was also just okay with it. I was fine. I was calm. And the thing is, you have to attract by focusing on it, but then you have to detach by letting go and being okay with it, you know? You have to feel like everything's fine, it's on its way, so there's nothing to worry about. And that's exactly what I did. I manifested the love of my life, and you can too. Okay, I'm gonna make him say hi, because he's on the computer right now. 1 second. Okay, say it now.
Yes, she did manifest me. She manifested me. It was very cool because I manifested her as well. I mean, I actually really didn't know anything about law of attraction at the time. I kind of just was like, you know, I like an Elizabeth. I'll marry Elizabeth, and all of a sudden I get one. It's like I manifested it without intending to manifest it, but she manifested me perfectly. So I'd give her a lot of credit for that. She's really adorable, and I really appreciate that. So yeah. Also, I would also like to mention that for a while, before I met her, I had a feeling something was coming soon, and what do you know?
Wait.
Manifesting always works out.
I have to say something weird.
Back to you.
I have to say, wait, hang on the mic. I have to say something weird.
What?
Can you hear me? The mic's kind of in a weird... Okay, so literally, it's funny that you just mentioned the whole Elizabeth story because I literally mentioned that, like, a second ago without... And, like, I didn't even tell you. Like, I didn't even tell him about me saying the Elizabeth story, but, like, I did literally a second before. Like, synchronicity, right?
Synchronicity, indeed. It's so funny. I like it. We're synchronized. That's how you know we're synchronized.
Yes. Also, we have a lot of the same thoughts sometimes.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm like eating your face, so I'm gonna go now. I mean, I'm gonna stay in the call, but I'm gonna finish the video, okay?
Okay.
I love you.
I love you.
B.O.B. So that's the story of how I manifested my man, and you can too. You can manifest your man, woman, non-binary lover, anybody you want. You could do whatever you want, and I believe in you. If you want me to break this down in a step-by-step video, let me know in the comments down below. This is really just the story, not necessarily the process, but it has tidbits of the process in it. And yeah, I hope to see you all soon. Have a great day. Also know that I am accepting clients for free at the moment for my manifestation coaching. The link is in the bio for my website, and also I write for my blog too about manifestation, and the link will be in my bio. I meant my description, in the description below, okay? And so it'll be in the description. Yeah, here is a slideshow of pictures from us. And then like, comment, subscribe, and let's manifest together. Bye! I don't know if they can hear you. Hang on, let me put the volume all the way. Ooh.
Yeah, I like monkeys.
He likes monkeys. Okay, so, he gives me back rubs.